In today's video, I thought it'd be fun to show you the before and afters and explain some of the processes of some of the flips I've completed this month in April. I found this gorgeous vintage dresser at my local thrift store for $120. So this is a bit more than I normally spend, but because I was keeping the original hardware, I didn't have any other costings besides the paint and the sanding pads that I thought that was a reasonable price to pay. I had this really cute artwork that I bought from Adairs and I really wanted to be able to use it in staging for a furniture flip, and this piece was just the perfect item for it. I wanted to go for a soft nursery look, so I decided to use Paloma by Annie Sloan. This colour is such a lovely tone, it's got shades of pink in it, and it really picks up some of the accents in the artwork as well. This dresser called for a two-tone look, so I sanded down the top and exposed that beautiful cedar top and then painted the body in that Paloma colour. To highlight the vintage nature of this dresser, I went for a bit of distressing on the drawer fronts and on the side of the feet as well, just to give it a bit more character and depth too. The total time that this flip took was 4.5 hours and I spent $130 in materials all up. I currently have this listed for $400. The next piece I worked on was this gorgeous console table. So I love spindle consoles. There's something about those turn leg details that I really gravitate towards, and they don't come up very often on Facebook Marketplace. So when I saw this, I knew I just had to jump at the chance and contact the seller and get it straight away. So I brought it home and I really wanted to try a coastal look on this piece, as I've done a few more delicate feminine looks on this console style. But I really wanted to see if the coastal look would translate well with this style of furniture, and I have to say I think I'm really happy with how it turned out. I wanted to go for a high contrast look, so I decided to paint the body and the legs in a really rich navy colour that was custom made, and then I whitewashed the timber top in a water-based finish and then sealed that with hemp oil. And to really give it that coastal touch and a bit more of a luxe look, I decided to use a really lovely marble knob called Aries, and that has a really nice hammered texture to it too. So this is a really fun piece to make over and would look amazing in an entryway or a holiday home. In total, this console took 3.5 hours to make over. I originally paid $50 for it on Facebook Marketplace and in total spent $70.50 in the materials. This is not yet sold and I currently have it listed for $300. Flip number 3 and 4 are both nightstands, and I actually have a video that I'll link down below for you if you want to check out the full tutorial on how I made these over. A friend had gotten in contact and said that she didn't need them and would I be happy to take them and refinish them, and I said absolutely. I could see that they were great solid constructed timber, and all I needed to do to make it more modern and feel updated was just to remove that fussy hardware detailing. For this flip I sanded back the top and stained it a nice driftwood warm kind of finish, and then painted it in a soft light grey custom made colour. This flip took 4.5 hours and I spent $70.50 in materials. I currently have this listed for $450. The next nightstands were a great find on Facebook Marketplace for only $25 for the pair. To keep the costings low, I decided to keep the original hardware on these nightstands. Decided to sand back the top and just give it a nice mid-tone grey custom colour. In total, this makeover took 4.5 hours and I spent only $40. This is currently for sale for $350. My next flip is this gorgeous console table that was an absolute bargain find on Facebook Marketplace for $40. I instantly knew when I saw this listing that it was solid oak timber and I could get quite a bit for this flip if I chose the right colour, and I was really excited to work on this console table because I could do a different look. I'd actually done a flip on a piece exactly like this and I went for a sort of soft sage green using Fusion mineral paint, but this time I wanted to try a grey colour to see if it would complement the warm oak. So sometimes it's really great to find the same type of furniture again, just to practice different colour combinations, because it gives you so much more insight about what colours and tones work with what type of timbers. So I was really excited to go for a really warm grey on this console table, and I think it turned out really nicely. To give an elevated look, I use this gorgeous marble and brass knob called Penelope. What I love about this knob, and anytime using brass and marble, is that the brass will complement the warm oak really nicely, and then when you're photographing it, it just balances really nicely in the photographs as well, and it just looks great too. This flip was an amazing one-day makeover and took only 4 hours. Total I spent $71 and I have this listed for $400. So I had so much fun making over these pieces. As you can see, I really love painting with color. I think it's one of the ways you can really rejuvenate and just add more personality and character to furniture pieces. And they do sell as well. A perfect segue for me to tell you what pieces have sold. So the gorgeous oak console table that I painted in that really warm grey was sold to a customer who'd actually been following my pieces for a while and wanted, I think, the one that I actually showed you previously. And she was lucky enough to see this one come up, and this sold for the full asking of $400. I love asking customers where these pieces will be going in their homes, and this one's going to be sitting in her bedroom and she'll be using it as a desk. I find it really interesting to get this insight from customers because it helps inform me better staging techniques, and also sometimes the colors and different combinations that might work best for different styles as well. The next piece that sold for its full asking of $400 was this lilac dresser. And it was such a pleasure meeting customers. It was a mother and daughter, and the daughter Michaela bought it for her first home. She's moved out just recently, and so that was really exciting. She explained she fell in love with the ceiling molding, and the detail on that worked perfectly for that lilac dresser with that little back detailing. So it was just really sweet seeing how a piece that I've worked on can just really suit a room instantly. It was such a lovely experience talking to them, and it's one of the things that I love most about furniture flipping is just having these really fun conversations with customers from all over Sydney. Actually came from Bondi to 5 Dock to buy this piece. And it's just really nice to hear their appreciation and awe of the work. And it just sometimes is a nice reminder, because you're so on your own doing this work, that you can kind of forget kind of what you're doing as well. So that was really nice. After Michaela and her mother bought that dresser, I had 2 more clients come afterwards to purchase the coastal bedsides here for $280. And the last piece that sold was this spindle console table for $250. So when the client was coming to purchase this one, it was a bit stressful because they had a car that didn't look like it was going to fit the console table in it. Usually I tend to put furniture laying it flat back with the back seats down, and then you've got the boot space. You can just kind of put everything in and it's nice and flat and leveled. But they didn't have that in their car. It sort of had like a weird sort of difficult opening, so they couldn't do that maneuver. So they ended up having to put the console table sort of leg in through the side door at the back, and it was just a very stressful 10 minutes watching them try to shimmy this console table in. But I was really stressed thinking that one of the legs would snap, but if that was the case, that was their own fault because they decided to put it in that way. So it's always interesting to see how different customers navigate trying to put furniture in their car. I think that's definitely one of the highlights when I have customers come pick up my furniture pieces. So that's all the pieces that sold for April. So it was pretty incredible that I had 3 pieces that sold on the one day. That it's kind of rare, it doesn't happen very often, but it's always really nice when that does. So I have 1 piece left over from all my April flips. I'd love to hear which is your favorite flip of this month. So thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to be notified for my next video. See you later.